When you say God tells you rest, what does that mean?
I didn't know. I didn't know at that time. But what it meant is that, my God, there's no correlation between work and income. And then the guys who've been grafted in, akina me, the guys who are never supposed to be part of this tree, but have been grafted in. Now that thing has completely affected my mind. Because I've now started asking questions like, for example, was Paul asking people to become Christians, or was Paul telling people to become Hebrews?
Every other time with Eric, back by popular demand, man. Guys have requested in the comments many times. I wanted to do episode 100. I was peer pressured by the trio that there had to be episode 100. We started together. I'm still famous because of going on his platform. I get harassed every day. 2 years later, Astar is in the building. How you doing, bro?
Hey, what up?
Good to see you, man.
Hey, bro, you have leveled up. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Looks the same, but doesn't feel the same.
I must thank you publicly again for giving me my start, bro.
Looks the same, but doesn't feel the same.
I still get so much CTA recognition till today.
That's a big one.
Yeah, so that was the launching part, and I'll forever be grateful, man.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
I'm
good. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, man.
This is looking sweet.
It's an Airbus. We upgraded when my house flooded. We saw it fit. Like, let's change the backdrop to something better.
Yeah.
And if you look at the wide angle, you actually feel like you're in a cockpit somewhat.
Oh, nice. I love it.
Yeah.
And of course, we've still got Darth Vader in the building. It's still chilling. Chilling like a villain.
But not worshipping Satan or anything. That's no vials of blood given yet.
Hey, bro, well done. Well done. I want to big you up for your consistency. I say as much as you pod, or as much as guys are in the podcast game, the differentiator is consistency. But also, you've got value.
Thank you very much.
Some of it a bit on the edge. Some of it, I'm not a fan of it. Some of it I love. But hey, you've figured out your own flow, who you are. You figured out your own vibe, and you're running with it.
Thank you very much, man. How have you been? I see you moving and shaking, being around the world, and
yeah. I've been busy. Yeah. I've been busy, but now I'm in like chill mode.
What is busy for you? Because ever since I've known you, you've been busy. Ever since.
No, I mean, actually, last year was from when I last was with you. In fact, when I last was with you, I was starting a new job.
I remember.
You get?
I remember.
Remember the drama that we had?
Yeah. we had a what people would call a falling out, but not a falling out, because dudes don't fall out like that. It's not deep like that.
Yeah. So just for context, it was between coming to support.
It wasn't a fallout though.
Yeah, it was a fallout.
Was it a fallout?
It was a fallout.
You think it was a fallout?
Yeah, I know it was a fallout. Because the guys don't get me. But let me explain it to you.
Okay.
It was a very weird place in my life, because my life is like this. I climb up, but I don't climb up like horizontally, diagonally. I climb up, then there's a plateau. Climb up, there's a plateau. I climb up, then there's a plateau. When I met you, I was in the plateau. And a lot of times when I'm in the plateau, there's a lot of CTA. Because that means that I've transitioned from a job, and I'm waiting, in an essence, on God to speak. Not in an essence, I'm waiting for God to speak on the next. So at that time, I thought you were the next. Remember?
I thought you had found Biggie.
Yeah. I thought, by the way, imagine, I was like, I'm going to come behind Eric, because I saw what you had. I saw the capability of what you had. So I'm not surprised by any of this. In fact, I'm just like, this is only but the beginning. Like, for sure. Because of your intellectual and your ability to articulate things to a global audience.
Thank you very much.
Beyond the 54 million guys in Kenya, you are one of the few pods that I feel can be Kenya to the world, and I'll come to that. But without me knowing, at that same time, Rina Hicks asked me to get for her social media person, somebody to do digital for them and all that thing. So I was like, no problem, I'll get for you. But then I had God say, go and work there. And I was like, I don't want to go and work in finance, bro. I don't want to go and work in finance. But I have no problem with obedience. So that, I know that was hard. for you to sort of get.
Yeah, I've just interrupted that episode to tell you a few important things. I'd like you guys to subscribe to the channel. Some of you are watching without subscribing, and we see that you're watching regularly. Please subscribe. It does a lot for our channel. Check out our Spotify, check out our Facebook, check out our TikTok, check out our Instagram, check out all our pages. Amazing content there in short form as well. Also, we have the membership where episodes drop early. Please do join the membership. It's $1.30 a month. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Every time with Eric, back to the episode. But it's full circle, Esther.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, change. I'm going through change right now. I respect what you what you're going through there now, because you see, we have the idea in our minds. For example, this transition I'm going through. I'm changing jobs so that I can do more of this as well.
Yeah.
Right? And see, I had a plan in my head, and I had a roadmap, and then now, of course, you make plans. The universe has other plans, so it's happening the way I imagine.
Who the heck is the universe?
God, the universe.
The universe. What, the stars, the planets? This God has other plans. I know the plans that I have for you, plans for good and not to prosper you, plans to give you a future and a hope. I'm just putting my
of course,
ethos and vibe out.
The Creator has other plans for sure. So I as soon as the transition started, it's a whirlwind, man. You're thrown. I don't know if it's a man thing, but you're thrown into disarray. Like completely, like when and I think maybe because also my history and how I handle things, I quickly catastrophize, I stress.
And how long have you been in this place?
I'm in it as we speak.
No. How long have you been in this place that you're being asked to transition from?
3 years. I did 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I did.
So that's first of all, that's major.
Yeah.
Because you've sort of got into a routine, you've sort of got your flow, you've understood this, and then now transition is one of human beings' most difficult thing.
And I understated. Like I'm saying, we had the idea in our mind, but when it starts happening, you don't know the kind of shock. 3 years of a system, a roster, time, and then all of a sudden, it's different. And then I'm balancing the two. It's been crazy, man. It's been crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. But I see such a huge light at the end of the tunnel.
Wow.
Like I understand that this is more of a process towards now the thing that I've been aspiring for. So when I say full circle, now I understand what you were going through that time when we didn't really fall out. We disagreed.
Yeah.
Fallout is a very strong.
Yeah. I call it seasons. Guys, you're right. Guys don't fall out.
Yeah. I understand it now more. And it's I didn't plan this episode with that in mind. It's just dawning on me now that you were going through this then.
Not only was I going through that then, I'm going through that again.
What's happening?
I've transitioned again.
Talk about it. But before you get there, man, you've done so much.
No, but so anyway, I go and join Friday Investment Bank. Best boss I've ever. So I've worked in I was counting, I think 18 different places. So
18?
Yes. So I've had this thing like 18 times. And of all the times, this is the time I'm most calm. In fact, I'm just like, I already know the outcome. Whatever is coming is going to be 50 times better.
So you've gotten better at it.
Yes, I trust God. I've understood myself. I understand who I am. I understand how my life moves and flows. And I understand how I hear the voice of God, how I obey, and what that means coming.
And is that an age/maturity experience thing?
It's a spiritual maturity. It has nothing to do with anything else. Okay. I am so comfortable I understand me probably best. So I want to call it age, yes, but I'm not trying to knock off people. I think at a younger age, I think it's more so an obedience thing. So it's more so, and then that obedience things come from a surrender thing. You get? So if somebody goes to watch our first conversation when we sat here, they'll now understand this conversation more better. You get? So yeah, man, that was the best thing that ever happened in my life. So first and foremost, shout out to Rena Hicks. That was hands down the best boss I've ever had. That was the best 2 years of my life. That was just an
That's a
season.
very strong, because you're not a young guy. Oh my God.
Silence on set.
How much of mistakes here? For someone of your age, not that you're Ramsey, but in your early 40s,
Yes.
to say that was the best 2 years of your life is a very strong statement.
Yeah, it was. It was because one, I loved what I did. Number two, I had freedom. I had a boss. I don't even want to call her boss.
She gave you carte blanche.
Yeah, she just told me, dude, I trust you. I believe you're good at what you do. Tell us how we need to do things. And they paid me well. You get what I mean? So it was...
And yes, they paid him well. I remember he floated the salaries.
No, nothing. And it was an amazing run in terms of what we were able to achieve. So I was doing digital for a company called a fund that had just come out. Before anybody knew about these special funds, of course, there was Manza X before, but then now sort of Manza X was hidden in an essence. It was more, so from a public perception, doing marketing for a fund, seeing that fund start from 100 million. By the time I'm leaving, it's about 15B. You get, and I'm sure it's still growing after. Damn. Yeah, so I've got to learn a lot. Of course, I am.
Let me hold some, man.
No. I had to because after I put Rina and Pius together to sit down, I was like, I'm teaching the whole world this thing, and I'm not busting a move. I'm not jumping in. You get. So, and I believe in the thing, you get. So I was like, I need to.
100 million to 15B is wild, man.
It's crazy. Of course, I'm not taking all the credit without a doubt. Digital played a huge role in terms of lead generation. Huge. But there was the sales guys, there's a whole, it's team. It was just to see us go from, I think when I joined, were about 7 guys. I think now they're over 40. Just see the growth of that and be a part of that and have a visionary boss. And I learned, like Rina has taught me leadership beyond my wildest expectation. So it was nice to learn from Rina and also, of course, Ian Kangara. So that was nice. But then also I had time. Then in that mix, I turned 44, I don't turn 44, I enter into my 44th year.
What does that feel like?
So very crazily, when I was entering into it, so when I turned 43, and now I was going to start living my 44th year. So day one of me being 44, because you turn 43 after you live the whole year. You get. So God tells me this is going to be a year of rest, and I'm like, I don't understand what that means.
This is this year now.
This is last year.
Last year, okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, cool. I don't understand what that means, and that now sends me to another whirlwind of going to Europe in ways that I had not been to Europe in 30 years. Now I went to...
And we'll be putting up those clips.
I went over 5 times in 1 year. I even took my employees.
It was 5?
I even took my employees, bro. Imagine.
Wow.
So it was just insane getting to now have that side of Eastern Europe open up my mind in ways that I didn't understand. Have a deeper love and appreciation for Kenya. We live in the greatest country on earth. I've just come from Europe, again, a month ago, weeks ago.
Unlikely sources sometimes, I expect you to say that, and I know you believe it. The other day I interviewed KRG, and I asked him, what's your favorite country? Because he's also traveling. I was like, Kenya, man. Like, what are you talking about?
By far.
And he meant it. And then, of course, when you think about it, man, we have a lovely country, man.
I can name 1,000 things that... I can name 5, just to give an example.
Weather. Let's start with weather.
1, I just came from Moldova. Moldova is probably from the length and breadth of Moldova is from it's a country in Eastern Europe. Is it Eastern Europe? It's a country in Europe.
Ricky, I hope you're taking notes.
Of where Moldova is. I just came from that. It's like, imagine driving from Nairobi to Nyanyuki and that being the whole length of the country. But then, all they have is wine.
Is?
Wine.
That's their export. That's their
prime. Yeah, so Moldova used to be in USSR, and there were the guys who used to produce wine for USSR. First of all, they got the best wine in the world, without a doubt.
Are you an imbiber of wine?
Of course, man. I touched that thing. It was so good. So I was not a fan of wine because I was in SA when I was in university. Those cellar casks used to give me hangis for days.
Cellar casks and hiccups.
They used to give me a hang. So me, I'm not a guy of wine. But then also I was illiterate about wine. So I went to this wine country where wine is their biggest export, where wine doesn't fall under the category of alcohol, but falls under food, where wine has been there for generations, where now you enter the wineries and you get to see underground cellars and you get to hear the culture. So it's...
Wine falls under the category of food?
Yes, there.
Thrive. I'm having lunch, guys.
So you get to see the difference with the culture where wine, liquor, alcohol is from the alcoholic perspective over from this perspective where it's culture. the way people grow cabbages and tomatoes here is the way they grow grapes and everybody makes wine. Like we go to visit a guy and the guy starts telling us, oh, taste my wine. I'm like, bro, what do you mean taste your wine? The one who made this wine. He's like, yeah. And then all hangy freeze. Like there's no, because it's good stuff. You know what I mean? So I came to realize that a lot of the wine that we have in this country is the El Cheapos that the rest of this country send us here. That's why I don't touch wine in Kenya. But then also, from a biblical perspective, I get to understand so much of the Bible.
Wait, so the wine Jesus was he was top-notch quality.
That's now, you see, now me I understand what when they say Jesus turned water into wine, and the guy says, my guy, you've brought out the good stuff last. You guy. I know what they mean when they say the good stuff. I know the importance of wine at a wedding. I know the process of what kind of a miracle that was for water to be turned into wine. I'm just like, this is insane. When you hear about the vines, I am the vine, and grafting people into the branch, and I'm just like, wow. When you hear about you can't put new wine into old wine skins, I know why they're saying that. And I'm just like...
So the whole idea of wine has been bastardized by just modern culture in terms of turn up and...
Yeah. Not modern culture. Let's call it what it is. Plus 254. K to the ENYA. Wine has not been bastardized. Europe guys know how to have 2 glasses of wine and go home. They also know have their badge of turn up, but Kenyans are professional turn-ups.
I think
Kenyans
we've pushed it.
Kenyans... We don't push it. Pushing it was back in the 90s. Guys, here now, it's we have an unhealthy culture. But
what is at the core of that?
We like having fun. Kenyans.
No, but what is it? Because I chalk it up to, you just said, and I said how Kiaji also said Kenya is the greatest country, and I believe that as well.
By far. I think. And by the way,
by far.
You can't just say Kenya is the greatest country. By far.
By far. And I think what we struggle with is, we know our worth and our potential.
We don't.
I think we do, and we know that we're not where we're supposed to be. So we take it out on fun to survive, because Kenyans know we're super. I mean, culturally, which other African country apart from AC does podcasts in this manner? You know,
I get it.
Yeah, so we know our potential, but we also know we've been stifled.
I think we don't truly understand how our potential, and that's the beauty of exposure. I think we know, but then when we come out is when we're like, you get shocked. I've gone to Norway, I've gone to Sweden, I've gone to Estonia, I've gone to Finland multiple times. I've gone to Mallorca, I've got and every time I'm in those countries, I'm just like, but Nairobi's better. Like, and I mean it, and I'm just like, man, why am I always shocked that Nairobi is better? So the reason why I was telling you about the wine story is because that's one product these guys have. Let's come to Kenya. How many products can we export out of this country? From the coffees to the teas,
flowers,
to name it. That's just one basket.
And now they found a hill somewhere in Coastal that has us being invited for G7. There's a hill which has some rare earth minerals.
Not just one. You go to Taveta. Like, Taveta has minerals for days. You get gemstones. When you think about that family, the guy who used to be in school with their daughter, the Mudamas.
Balling out of control.
Why do you think he came? Why do you think he's balling? He's
started UDA.
But where do you think he made his loot from?
Yeah, it's all from minerals. Diamonds.
That guy owns the embassies all over. If he name an embassy, he's probably the one renting it to them. And I'm not saying, I'm just trying to show you that's now minerals. You get?
Well,
let's talk about, you can get desert in Kenya, you can get coastal region, you can get highland climate. This country.
It's beautiful.
I don't even think that's the word. We are one of one.
You know, from an aerial perspective, you know, the natural thing would be to assume that when you're taking off from Coastal and you see the beach, you always give the passengers a last goodbye. Say goodbye to your holiday, at least see the beach, and it's beautiful. But then sometimes we fly to LD when it's green.
Yeah.
And to me, the landscape is more breathtaking than coast. It's same country. So I really understand what you're saying.
Let me add another one. I interviewed the owner, the MD of Sarova, and part of what I did, shameless plug, I started doing
Put it on the screen, put it up on the screen.
But I also started doing this thing called CTA brand stories, where I don't just want to do the pod like this and get the life story. I also want to experience the thing
I saw that. I
the
saw the
guy is
Sarova
talking about, so that I can feel, are you just on my pod to get PR and brand stories, but or are you genuine? So I actually experience the thing, and I experience it unfiltered, so that you see me experience and expect the same thing. Bro, the Mara is bananas. The Mara is like, have you been the Mara?
Barely.
No, just explain why not. Why don't you have a yearly plan to go to the Mara every year? But I tell you, see what I mean when I tell you Kenyans don't know what they have.
So in air school, I remember we do cross countries to Mara and we get free lunch, and the connotation was always that you hear the prices per night, you're like, God damn, like that is way. So it always felt like there's a barrier from a cost perspective for the Mara.
Can I say, well, that's a lie?
But it's beautiful.
No, back in the day in 2008, 9, 10, we used to be this group of guys. Every day, every Christmas, the next day, we used to call ourselves 10K, because we'd pay 10K and would go for 3 nights full board. 10K per person. We'd get a van, everything, and we go.
What is this, 1971?
I'm serious. Go to a 10K, we get the comments. Even Mugambi used to be part of the guys who would go for this thing. 10K would go Amboseli, we do that whole thing. 10K, we did the Mara.
So what is this gap of information? Why is it assumption?
So you explain to me why, because you think, this is Kenya, we don't lack elephants, we don't whatever, but have you seen one? Have you planned for yourself to do that? You get? So it's just, there's a block in our mind that stops us from experiencing our country to the max. So other people are coming and they're seeing a live face to face. Oh my God!
Hakim Lion on Obina's show yesterday saying how he's not leaving Kenya. Kenyans, big homie Sisi, my good friend, is back.
Yeah.
And it's like this is his sanctuary now.
Now, do you know how many Black Americans, how many foreigners are fully migrating to this country?
I interviewed, Troy White?
No, I don't know.
He's been here a while, I think more than 20 years. So he's like the new liaison of African Americans, and they're realizing, you're getting bang for your buck.
Insanely.
So if you've worked a solid 20 in the States and you had like a savings, and you can come here and ball out.
Look at Kelis.
Kelis is living 500 acres.
Kelis did Kelis did her due diligence on Africa, and she was like, nah, bruh, Kenya, that place is at.
But I want to double back, and we'll come back to exactly this point, but I want to double back to your 2 years. I don't want to skim over your 2 years at the fund. And when you said God told you that you're in a season of rest, you guys have a good thing going. The company is scaling. I'm sure Arena is happy. Growth, you talk about 100 million to 15 billion.
By the time I was leaving.
And so how are they receiving that you're bouncing?
So when I went to Faida kicking and screaming. I was supposed to be with Biggie here.
Yeah, I remember.
So I didn't go happy. This obedience thing. I said in 2019 I redefined my life, and when I redefined my life, I measure success according to obedience to God. So how I move is, has God spoken, has whatever, and I move according to that. So by the time Rina is calling me, and Rina knows how I operate, she's calling me to ask me to get her somebody. So by the time I'm hearing God, and God is like, you're going to work in this place. I'm like, I've got Biggie, man. We've got plans. In fact, we had even done a training, we're about to kick off. So I was just like, okay, let me go. So I'll never forget what made me, I was coming from Valley Arcade, now I was driving to Friday Investment Bank to have this meeting with Rina. I'll never forget. And Valley Arcade, and I get that roundabout in Kile. So it's straight down to go to Kile, you go down to go to Dennis Pritz, you go right to go to Riverside. Friday's State House. So it only makes sense to either go straight to Kile and then, or go right down and then go Dennis Pritz and go that. But I hear God tell me, go left. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Me, I'm a guy, I like keeping time. Or at least communicating if I'm not keeping time. So I'm like, I'm hearing this voice in my mind telling me to go left. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm going here. Why would I be going this direction? But I told you I have no problem obeying. And so I go. And I somehow arrive. And I hear God tell me, the path that you think that is for you, I have a different path for you. So by the time I'm entering to meet Rina.
For the audience, Astar, you know me, I know you, we've interacted for a long time. When you say voice, you mean a voice.
I mean an impression. It's not, hi, my son, I would like you to take a left. No, it's not like that. It's just, I'm feeling this thing in me that is telling me to take a left. It doesn't make sense. But that feeling feels like it is so strong and worth obeying. You get, I don't have 100% facts that I'm speaking to God.
Is it the way, sometimes God subtly messages? Like the other day I was having a thought about something specific and I was presented with an obituary. And when I did my due diligence, my answer was right there. Like,
look at that.
And I was like, God, like literally, goddamn. Like,
yeah.
Like,
in fact, let me give an example. When you called me this pod, you asked me before, and I was like, I'll tell you. When you asked this time, I was like, how? Like, I'm like, should I do it? Remember, I told you, just give me till end of day. I was now trying to do my due diligence. God, should I go for this thing? God, you get what I mean? So I didn't get a yes, go for it. I didn't get none of that. But I got when was the last time you were on the pod? I was like, when the last time I was in the pod, I was in this transition, and I was like, wow. And now I can, and so I was like, that already felt like a correlation. You get? But it wasn't also that. It was just, hey, dude, some things are not that deep. Just go. You get what I mean? Or go. So anyway, I go left, and that just gives me like, so I sit down with Rina, I'm like, if I'm to work here, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I expect this. And this is how I want to work, this whatever. She's like, you start on Monday.
Is it 8 to 5-ish environment?
That's part of my things was like, I'm not going to be in your office. I'm going to work from my office. Because I wanted to work from Ikigai at the time. So, because I was also going to say, she's like, dude, are you going to deliver? You get? Number 2, I'm going to create the strategy. You get? Because this was finance of people's money. This was people's life saving. I had to treat it sacred. I was like, I've had stories of how people have lost money. If I'm to do what I do and I know when I do what I do, I'll be good at it. People are going to remove their hard-earned money to give you guys. So I had to say I'm coming up with the strategy. And I came up with it based on my research. I called it 3 elements: trust, transparency, and tactfulness. You get? And trust me.
The 3 T's.
Yeah, the 3 T's. And she was like, by the way, do what you got to do. And that's why I'm saying that environment was just, are you delivering on what it is that you're going to deliver? I have no biggie. Another thing I told her is like, me, I'm working for Oak. Faye does all these other different things. But this is the thing that I'm in to do. You get? So it was the most beautiful 2 years of my life. Because of deliverables, it means I get time. That's how I was fully employed when I'm all doing all these 5 trips to Europe. You get what I mean? It's not that I'm still working, but still have the...
She gave me some leeway as well.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, deliver.
That is a shout out, Rina. That's a wonderful, wonderful.
That's an amazing human being.
So when you tell her it's a new season coming up, how does she take it?
Guys don't understand. So I learned this, and some of this I learned this from you. I learned that it's nice when you are getting the receiving. So if God says, go and help Eric with his body, he's like, I like the way your God speaks. But when God is like, hey, go and, now it's time for you to leave Eric, it's not that nice. You get? Because it's a system. You get what I mean? People have built a system and there's a way. But I always say, if I leave to prove that there's God, I also did this when I was working at Goshen Acquisitions. I said, to prove to you that there is God, you will not miss me. You will not fill my gap. It will be a smoothless transition with the next person. You get? So God is not a God of disorder. So you will take the next level. But then now one of the things that happened is I sat down and asked, that's how I know how many places I've worked. I was like, hey God, what the heck, Agwan? What's all this? What's this movement?
I'm stable. We're doing our thing here.
Now I'm calm. I'm not like 3 jobs ago when I ran away to Zambia because I was like, I can't take this. Now I'm calm. I'm just like, okay, just explain to me why am I such a transitioner? You get? Even when I join, I know there's no time I felt I'm going to be here for 15 years. I knew. I'm like, what is it about me? Is it some issues deep down in me that I need to sort out? And if so, help me. But what is it? I got this answer finally when I did the Sarova, again in the Mara. So I got the Mara, and we go with the Sarova, and we go see the Masais. And with the Masais are teaching me how to do fire. Shh. Insert clip.
Fire. I learned that from you, but it changed my pot forever.
So anyway.
I have to do it this way. Just like this.
Also, I don't have to go down.
No, you just have to take your hand. Okay.
Hey!
Yeah.
This is the hardest labor you've ever done in your life.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. No, let me do it. I'm serious. I'm ready. My survivor video.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, smoke.
Now there is smoke.
Fire coming soon.
One more. Let me do one more. I'm ready. I got this.
Your turn.
Fire! We got fire, Jack! Wow. So this is normal. So I'll send you that clip. That's a clip that I've just seen. So when I'm doing that thing with the Maasai, God is like, your name is Astar. Astar comes from Matthew 5:16. You are the light. But let me now show you a new layer of your name. You're a fire starter. I'm like, what? Now, me, I love Survivor. One of the only reality shows I ever watch is Survivor. I'm like, I'm hooked on season 46 with them. Shout out to Jeff.
It's a very nice reality.
So when people arrive into Survivor, the first thing that they do when they get to camp is they need to build fire. And they just have to use with what they have. They just have to pick up the scraps and build fire. Now that's me. I am a 0 to 1. I enter a place which has chaos and I prove the MVP. So me, I'll never be employed in a company that's already set and just needs systems. I'm not the systems guy. I'm the guy to prove that this thing that is a nothing, that is in your head, can work. I'm the one who knows how to bring light in chaos. You know, when God says, let there be light. That's me. I'm a guy of 0 to 1. But now, when it's time now for, okay, we can't be looking for sticks every day. Let's go chop down a tree, chop up all those logs, let's put them in a thing. I'm not that systems guy. And that's not my world. Me, I thrive where there's no structure. I thrive where there's chaos. I thrive where somebody has this brilliant idea and knows it's working, but doesn't know how to take it to market. You get? So when I got that, I'm just like, that's it. I'm a fire starter. That's why all the different places I've worked. Nokia, YouTube, Google, 4Up Digital, Pod, whatever it is, I'm very good at.
CTA itself, the first of its kind.
Exactly. Even for music, in terms of how I did it from a digital perspective, my whole 21 years of this God journey, I've always been at the pioneer stage, and that's why I'm there. So I'm like, oh, okay. Now I get who I am. You have another question?
No. I'm
pondering.
No, I'm soaking it all in because, I mean, first of all, congrats on what you're able to do in 2 years, man. And I can't believe it's actually been 2 years.
Imagine.
So when you say God tells you rest, what does that mean?
I didn't know. I didn't know at that time. But what it meant is that, my God, there's no correlation between work and income. There's
Say that again? There's no correlation between work and income.
Yes. So let me give you an example. And again, I'll use, like, I learned a different economy. I learned a different, people believe to make money, you have to work. People believe to get the thing, you have to grind. I learned that there's no correlation between the two. That you can get the thing without work.
Expound. Maybe.
So, I traveled to these countries and maybe
And what's the origin of that also?
So the first time was I always wanted to go to Estonia because of digital. So Honorable Kadri, who's Honorable Consul for Estonia to Kenya, I met her back in the day when I was so obsessed with digital, for Up Digital Days. And she came and she voted with a computer. This is back in the day. So Estonia was always on my plan to go to. When I tried to go, my passport was late in terms of whatever, I missed out. So another opportunity came to go for a benchmarking for IT. So that we're going with the guys of IT.
You went with Tony
Ndongo, Pass
Cold,
Mushiri.
huh?
Yes.
I remember it was freezing.
Yeah. Which was amazing also.
How freezing? Minus?
-3, -2, sometimes it'll be 0.
You guys here
2.
15, we're already freezing. minus -5, -3.
But there's a good story in that, but I'll still come on to so I paid to go for that trip because I just need to go and again expose my mind from a digital perspective and see all these things that are in my head. Let me go to a country that I hear is doing this. And it was beautiful to see order. Hey, that's why I love abroad. Order.
Systems work.
Yeah. But anytime there's disorder, that means there's an opportunity to bring order. So me, I love disorder right now. When I see Kenya, I see a lot of disorder, but I see a lot of potential in that disorder. And the opportunity is in bringing order in disorder.
What would you say foundationally is at the basis of this order you find in such places? Is it that they are principled? What is it?
Yeah, they're principled.
And
it's not value system because here we can shout out about our Christian values. It's just there's an Ubuntu we lack, but I thank God for the Gen Zs. I feel like they're bringing back that Ubuntu. There's a lack of let me also have mercy on us guys and say staff colonialism. Like a lot of our root cause and problems, I can boil it down to colonialism.
We were divided and conquered, and now we're for self.
Yeah. The colonials, the British did a number on us. A lot of our the switch can be rooted down to that.
We're talking about that with a friend. Yes, in fact, yesterday on phone, we're talking about how even you find it in corporate culture. You see tenets of why are we acting like everyone's trying to one up.
It's a man for himself.
Yeah,
when I keep saying Kenya will change when I see guys stop overlapping. That's the core decider. Because a guy overlapping tells you a lot. It shows you he's only thinking about himself. He's more important than others. He's selfish. There's so much that you can derive as a root cause of somebody overlapping. So when somebody is not overlapping and they're willing to be behind somebody, that now begins to say a lot about how the person leads the home, how the person leads their company, how a lot of other things. To somebody overlapping looks like a small thing. The guy's in a hurry. Kwani you're not as important.
And everyone is in a hurry.
And now imagine that leadership. That's what the leadership taught us. That you should have. And them all overlapping.
And the first one you say you paid for.
Yes, I paid for it.
But you've gone 5 times, you say.
6. No,
6
5.
times.
5, if 6 if I include now this February thing. So I go for that.
6 trips to Europe is such a blessing, man.
Blessing galore.
Travel.
You guys, I know,
Travel.
like it.
I see you posting Kwaheri. I know that feeling. That Kwaheri.
Yeah.
The feeling of traveling abroad, man. It's such a nice feeling.
The first one was amazing because one, I went with people I met. People I knew, so for example, Pass. But then I went with such an amazing group of people. That's when we came, even Go Yodera, we did Pass a Spoon.
I remember.
Yeah, that was just incredible.
We put Pass a Spoon right there.
Yeah. But don't put too much copyright infringement, bro.
You'll flag us.
So anyway, that was amazing. And then I saw an opportunity I went to the company. So these events are organized by a company called Golden Connections International. Amazing people who do B2B connections, D2D connections, benchmarking. So they take people here who sort of hit a ceiling, who are looking for opportunities in that industry. They match them with people in this industry. So it's done proper. We meet Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we meet government officials from these countries, we meet the experts in these things, and it's fully packed. Nikazi, it's not sherehe.
Is it expensive?
No. That's the thing about Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe is not Stato. It's not Australia. The prices are they're not even UK prices.
Give me a budget. Rough.
3,000-4,000 euros
Okay.
for 7 days.
Of quality.
With 2 countries, you're in Finland. You're traveling. You're doing proper B2B,
Including airfare?
Yes.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah.
That's very fair.
Extremely. So that one, that's what I went. So now the second time I was like, okay, let me come and help you from the perspective of digital marketing to the right TA. So that's where I went. And the third one was just come and help you for digital. I think that chick was just like, you're a nice guy, come. But I think she saw what that thing was doing for me. Not I think, I know. And she just became a destiny helper. I'm going to call it that. It's just insane. So the other time now, it was Finland. Went to Finland. That's not when I went with my employees. I went with Izo and a lady called She Drips Glory, Meg. So it just kept going. And you see, I've gone mob times. This time we went because we're trying to now, Estonia opened up an embassy in Kenya. Part of the reason as to why Estonia is opening up an embassy in Kenya is because, honestly speaking, of the amount of noise Kenya is making and the amount of travels that of organized groups, and not just guys for sherehe, guys for B2B benchmarking, guys for B2B partnerships, guys for, okay, this is what you guys have. Because Estonia has, again, when I tell you about Kenya, Estonia has only 1.3 million people. So when you make a product, you want a bigger market.
Yes.
We have 54 million people here. And if I include all the different guys who are crossing the borders to enter,
67 million. Strong 67.
That number ain't 54. But they are very serious, man. That number ain't 54. But Kenya is a beautiful hub, and I understand why.
So six trips to Europe. You said the first one you funded yourself.
Yes.
Who's taking you on the rest, or how are you going on?
With Golden Connections International.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was something.
Well, we're still talking about the rest. I want to understand the season of rest.
So that's it. So now, you are. Rest means.
And mind you, in these 2 years also, while you're there, you interviewed some very heavy hitters, man. CTA was still booming, man.
Oh yeah, even I did the big one.
You did the big one, man. Safaricom CEO.
I thought you were going to say someone else. I'm joking.
Safaricom CEO, the big one, in case you're looking for someone to sponsor.
That was a bad climax for me.
Why?
Because
bad climax.
No, okay. The interview was amazing. I loved it. I loved the experience.
It was
I loved
good.
everything. It was. And you know, Safcom had only given me, is it like 2 hours? So I'd been having back and forth. I'm like, this is CT.
Yeah, CT is.
You come here, you sit according to my rules.
2 hours.
After 2 hours, we stop where we stop.
And plus, how do you get 2 hours of that guy?
So I explained.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, whatever. So he came and he cancelled a lot of things in the mix of the interview.
Or like telling guys.
He's like, forget that.
And Esther has a way of getting guys comfortable.
Let's continue. Martha Karua did the same thing. Martha Karua was given me also just. Fuck, Martha Karua came at 9. She said by 11 I'm out.
Also another very interesting one.
And she went. She did leave at 11. Went, met the person, cancelled the interview with the person and told them, I'm meeting you to say I have to go back and finish something. And came back. She honored me. I have mad respect for Martha Karua. And then she, on top of that, allowed me to also do a class and session with her. So with Peter Ndegwa, the same thing. He came, he sat down. He even ended up cancelling dinner with his wife.
In person, how is the aura in person? Is there an aura?
The seat has aura. So it doesn't, when I've learned how to disassociate, I think I've done like 150 different CTAs, 170 actually. I've learned how to disassociate the seat and the person. So for me, I've learned now the art of looking and seeing the human. So even Elon Musk can sit down.
That's the essence.
And I can and I will see the human, and then we lead up into the seat. You get, but my first interest is the human. So because I immediately get an instant intrigue. You get intrigue about the.
I'm curious, who was the bigger one in your mind? You had in mind when I said you did a few big cities.
No, I was joking. I was just playing. So, but the thing is now, where do you go after Peter? So now it has to force me to begin to think global. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, this global thing that I've been trying to stop. So part of the beauty of going and doing all these Europe trips was now the essence of finding stories from Europe to bring here. And I'm not trying, and I don't mean this in a negative way. I'm not trying to look for diaspora. You get? I'm actually trying to find the founder of Nokia. I'm trying to find, you get? Because there's two sides of a coin. CTA for a long time has been doing the heads, who are the Africans. Colonialism has done a number on us that sort of also makes us reject the West. But there's a lot we can also learn from them. So I get to see both sides of the coin and I'm like, Africa can learn a lot from this side. I know these guys pulled a number on us the other day and therefore we come to them like, hey bro.
In fact, I interviewed a guy called Lieutenant Colonel Rolf Helmrich. He's a German
How many
guy.
guys have you interviewed, bro?
That guy, over 100 also.
Big ups, man.
The guy-
I think I was number 3.
The guy...
No, first of all, I need to big you up.
Thank you very much.
That's not easy, considering you've got a full-time job.
Thank you very much.
You know.
It definitely burnt me out at some point. But just to emphasize on your point of the rejection for not necessarily West, but also like Europe.
Yeah.
Initially, the first response is, why are you interviewing a white guy? I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, are we not able to compartmentalize? Yes, we went through this thing.
Yeah.
And I've even flown with someone who said, I hate all white people. And I'm like, can you really say that? What's different from when we are generalized?
What's the difference for me and what SA are doing
Yes.
with us?
Bowen is so dumb.
Yeah, it is.
It's so
But I
primitive.
lived in that country for 4 years. I'm just like, Bruh.
It's so primitive. But when you're experiencing and you're having moments in those countries where you're having a moment and you realize Kenya is better, are you telling these guys?
who?
The locals.
So
Are you selling us?
So my posture has first been, I had no agenda. Remember, I'm going in rest. I'm not going to work, to grind. I'm going, of course, I'm around work environments, but I'm just taking it in. I'm learning, I'm observing, I'm seeing, I'm understanding that Kenya, we have a personality. We are warm people. You get? Part of it has to do with maybe the sun. But you get what I mean? But Kenyans are like warm people generally. You enter an Uber, a guy is already talking to you. There you enter, a guy doesn't even say hi. You get me? I'm trying to chit-chat, a guy is not whatever. So then now you get to, so in the beginning you're like, yeah, this guy's been racist. Then you learn, no, this is just culture. So now you begin to learn culture. Then you begin to realize, oh, first and foremost, with some of these countries, we are so alike. Like Moldova. Moldova are just white Kenyans. Like for real.
The way they behave, they interact.
Everything about, they are just white Kenyans. So now you begin to, you're taking, I'm just a sponge learning. And of course I'm now like, oh, before I was thinking, what can I get on this side and bring back home? Now I'm just like, what can I get from Kenya to come and take on this side? What was I thinking? I was thinking about what can I get from the European side and come and bring to Kenya. Now I'm just like, nah. These guys are the ones who need to come to Kenya. You get? Like, Kenya is on another level. And I mean this in everything, in tech, in we. I can't stress how much. I think the only word I have is for this is light that I see.
And I think leaders of other countries see it.
Of course. By the time you're seeing Ruto, the G7 is the only.
Yeah. And I've also gotten a sense that
By the time you're seeing France coming here.
there's a time I thought we were even like an experiment state, where like that. I was watching Sifuna grilling Wanga the other day. Of course, they have a camaraderie. So he's senator, she's governor.
Yeah.
It's a role. But it reaffirmed something my brother's always been saying about, like, you guys, we have a solid constitution. We're just in the cartoon phase of figuring out. But that constitution is crazy solid. Like, I was projecting now in like 50 years of. You see, right now it looks like a joke. Oh, you bought a soda for 2 million. So it looks like it's just fun. But guys are being held to account in a way that other African countries don't do. And what does that look 50 years from now? A lot of these things will be streamlined by force. People are being chased after the fact.
Let me give you an example. Exactly on what you're saying. Public participation. Do you understand the power in public participation? Public participation is how we're going to change this whole country. But Kenyans don't know about public participation. When I say Kenyans, I'm generalizing, of course. And a lot of this problem is my generation, the millennials. That's why I love the Gen Zs. Because the Gen Zs are beginning to, the things guys are doing, it's just mind-blowing. The way they are woke to they are probably the most patriotic generation since Mau Mau.
Were you active during the 2024?
What do you mean was I active?
Gen Z.
See, I went down.
Oh, you went?
I even shot the whole thing in 360.
Me, I was
remember that time we were it boys, bro.
There was such a. I always say there was such a.
At the day guys went to State House, I was there with the Insta 360 filming. In fact, if you go to CTA and you write the Mandamano protests, I filmed it in 360.
How
so
did
if you
your
have a
lovely,
VR,
how did your lovely daughters feel about that? That's our curiosity and wife. You have 3 ladies you take care of. You're their beacon of everything.
I think my wife was the one who was. My 2 kids were like, "Dad, you going for Mandamano?" Okay. That they were younger.
Me, I was conflicted. I have a Gen Z wife, first of the Gen Z generation.
yes.
And she was like, I need to go help people get out of cell. And I was like, Z, you're not going anywhere. And then I was driving through barricades to go to work because the show must go on. And I'd use my uniform to get through.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, the country is going through something so crazy. But this corporate thing they have to go
They've
on.
got to go on.
They would get us hotels. If you're flying in the evening, go in the morning, don't go near the airport so that you report. There's no excuse. The show must go on. So very conflicting time. I sometimes wonder what really was the impact of that. Being that we're building up to the 25th.
Yes.
What do you think?
So when I was in the mix of when they were throwing tear gas at State House, the roundabout where Holy Basilica is, where the parking, I go and park there sometimes. So I was there. And then, bro, me, I was huku. These Gen Zs on our level. Me, I didn't know about putting Colgate into the knives. So I'm just there screaming, the tear gas is a lot. The tear gas is a lot. Those guys came and helped me. So going for that protest is, I think, that and having Gen Z employee is what sort of just made me begin having a switch. So as we approach the 25th, what is the 5th?
25th.
No, but what anniversary?
It's the 3rd or 4th?
Second,
yeah. Because it happened to 24th.
Yes. Actually, you're right. It's second. For me, I'm like the reminder of that thing. These Gen Zs have not forgotten. These Gen Zs are not keyboard warriors. These Gen Zs are ballot warriors. So, for me, they're silent, and they're not silent, but they're not as noisy as they were in terms of going down to the streets.
Like
but this Tukokadi movement, this thing of don't come and talk to us if you don't have your voter's card. Like, us guys were not doing that.
Did you see how they dissed us during the time for the fuel hike?
And by they continue to diss us.
They said at millennials, millennials will walk 80 kilometers to report to work. Which is true. I mean, there's like a level of cowardice in our generation.
Biblically, it reminds me of the Israelites. The Israelites are so ingrained in this formula of the Egyptians. You get? And it ties down into your story of rest. They are so in there. For them to get food, they have to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Remember, they're slaves. Because they're the ones who are building the pyramids and all that. Also went to Egypt in this time. Shout out to Kanji Mbogwa. So,
shout out Kanji. You finally got it, eh? Finally.
Yeah. In fact, Kanji...
50 years I have
Kanji
waited.
were like, we shoot in different countries. That's our thing with CTA. Nice. So we're supposed to shoot in Ukraine this time, but I was like, bruh. Not touching it. Anyway, so the Israelites are leaving, but these guys, their mentality is not changing because they're slaves. So God has to teach them that you can get provision without work. They can't figure that.
I want you to teach us that because like you said, we're socialized. You know, you're a man, you have to work, you know, hard work and pays off. And we even go and we regurgitate and we talk about proud, work ethic. You know, I work so hard. I will expound on that, kidogo. Because it's teetering on it's almost like a spiritual principle as well.
Yes, it's trust. It's down to one thing. It's down to one thing and one thing only: surrender. A lot of people get born again. A lot of people don't surrender. They are all to God. There's a big difference. The big difference between, and I don't want to go deep, but can I go deep?
Go deep.
Okay, now you listen. I was not coming here to go deep, but then
Go as deep as you want.
So, number one, there's this whole aspect of being born again. And this is, born again, I have Jesus Christ, I'm going to heaven. And I mean that in that essence. That is the essence of how Christianity was first taught. So it's born again, and I'm just going to be a nice boy, good Christian, so that when I die, I go to heaven. That is the lowest version of Christianity, in my view, because it makes you absolutely useless in this world. You get? So now, the only way to become useful in this world is to be like this life that I've been given, because I've been given this grace because of this guy who says he was God, who came here and died for my sins. He's then given me this thing. The best thing that I can do is give him this thing that I have. And the best thing that I have is my life. So it's literally saying, this life that I have is not mine. It's yours. So whatever you tell me to do, I will do. Now, that battle in that whole thing becomes, am I hearing him? Is this an instruction? But that's okay. That's at least already showing that my aim is I want to hear. So it's hard, because it means if the guy tells you go left, you go left. The guy tells you go right, you go right. Let me give you an example. When I came to your house, what did I come with?
Fruits. Gifts.
I drove by whatever 16 I was here. I was at your gate.
Yes.
I drove back. Just God was like, you don't come to people's house empty-handed.
And thank you very much.
But you see, so it's just like, but I'm already here, I'm here on time, but and it's not a voice that is like, oh my God, you don't come to. It's just like, be a nice guy.
But how do you navigate the stimuli of the world right now in terms of everything that is anti-God? Not anti-God. Yeah, anti-God. Let me call it anti-God.
Yeah, is anti-God. Why are you mixing the words?
Anti-God, anti-Christ. But almost factual.
It's light and darkness.
But almost, and I'm using this term loosely, so don't crucify me. Factually. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. There's so many arguments against that make sense. How do you stay steadfast?
So I'm like, every man for himself. Bro, in 2019, I defined what success is to me. Like, I looked and I said, okay, how do I want to live the rest of my life? Because I was doing this thing. I was, and I'm coming to now another one. But let me explain. I was doing this thing called life, and I was trying to figure out, I had opened up a company. I'm like, so am I just going to have to get more clients, more employees, more money, more clients, more whatever? Like, when does this thing stop?
To the tune of $1 trillion, like Elon Musk.
By the way, that first of all is just mind-blowing. When we come to that, $1 trillion, that number, we can't even, anyway. So I'm like, how do you keep, I had to figure out, okay, for me, what is success? Because I'm thinking this is success, but I'm realizing I don't like this version of success. Because to get that grind and that money and that guy saying, well done, look at that guy, that affirmation, you get
societal,
that validation,
societal affirmation,
the car that you have. So I had to define for myself, not for my family, for me. And as for me and my household, even for my family, of course. And that's when I made the decision. Success to me is obedience to God. And a lot of that is tied on after this life rewards. However, now there's layers to this thing. There's layers to this thing. And now I'm entering a new layer. And I was having a conversation with somebody about this, about Romans 11. And I'm just like,
what does Romans 11 say? I'm not so vast.
Yeah, I mean, I was not, to be honest. So first of all, the whole story of the Israelites, and I was just like, hey, these guys. So that whole thing of learning, you can get provision in rest. there's no correlation. You know, just there's a lot of different things that I'm learning that are systems to get wealth. But that's not the only system to get that wealth. You get, for example, the family that you're born in can instantly make you wealthy. You get, it's not just hustle. And I know we call ourselves a hustle culture. That's where me and Ruto got left. Okay, in a lot of things, but that's one of the things that I don't agree with that. We're not a hustle culture. Anyway.
And hustle has a strife connotation.
Yes.
Hustle's like, I'm hustling, you know. It doesn't, there's nothing prideful about it.
So, for example, do you enjoy this?
The podcast?
Yes.
I mean, with all my heart.
Have you made money from this?
Yes, I have. Not as much as I but I have.
Have you made money from this?
Yes, I have.
Was the goal to make money from this in the beginning? Or was it to first do it?
In the beginning, it's artistic. It's my artistic expression. This is like my version of
rest.
The way you do hip hop, and you're a rapper and you're good at it, and this is my version.
Do you feel like this is work or rest?
Rest.
So this perfectly explains it. There's something that you're gifted at, because you're gifted at this, dude. You don't be fooled. You're not the average podcaster. Your mind has the ability to take conversations and steer it in a certain direction. That is a gift. But you do this, and it, in an essence, has put revenue in your pocket. Do you enjoy flying?
I do.
And that puts revenue in your pocket. So you're earning in rest. Rest doesn't mean that you're sleeping and you're just in bed and things are coming. It means that work doesn't feel like an uphill task all the time. In fact, let me use majority of the time, because there are times, even this podcast, as you said, you get to be burnout. You get tired, but you're still like, I'm still going to do this tomorrow.
And I've been in that state that you described, where I wasn't flying, I wasn't doing this, but I was working. And that was just, every day just felt like, like if you like the yoke of.
I actually, the one time in my life that I've thought of taking my life was it's what led me to salvation back in 2004. And it's because I had been thrown into a bank to work. Very funny, because full circle.
A bank,
no,
man.
Full circle.
That's
I
like,
was just in a bank,
yeah.
but I loved every moment of working in there. Do you get? But it's just the way that I was doing it then. I was opening and closing accounts. It's not now when I went back to do digital marketing. Very different. Same industry, very different.
The other day I text Astar at a random time. I don't know what I had seen, but like, hey, out of the blue, we're not even spoken for a while. Oh well, we always big each other up here and there. But I was like, are we in the end times? They told me I'm not an end times expert. And I was like, faith in God en masse is dwindling. Because I think what people are seeing, what people are experiencing, I don't know if the packaging is wrong or the market.
It's religion, bro.
It's religion.
People are just fed up of religion. People are waking up to the fact that we can't stand religion. They're questioning. Even I am always questioning. In fact, I'm questioning. I'm like, if we've got this Jesus guy, why then is there no fruit? If guys are going to church on this level every single Sunday, why is there no fruit? I just want to see fruit. Why is there no power?
It led me to agnostic. I'm an agnostic. I believe there's something, definitely a creator.
You've chomoka Christianity. I'm just asking.
I don't. The religious part for me doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
But don't throw the baby with the water. You get. I can't stand. Let me give an example. I'll go back to this Romans 11. I asked the guy. So Romans 11 now, summer. First of all, I like reading the Genesis, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Sometimes I've never gone these Romans, all these my epistles, First John, but I've read them maybe maximum half or once. Genesis, those ones I probably read like 1,000 times. The Gospels over and over and over again. So for me to go and read Romans 11 automatically was just like, what? What is this all about? Now Romans 11 talks about a tree And in that tree, some people have been cut off. Some branches have been cut off. And this other branch has been taken and grafted in. You get? Now, the branches that have been cut off are the children of God, the chosen people, the Israelites. Some of them have been cut off.
Kila Netanyahu.
Let's just say the ones who are and who haven't followed in the vibe of Jesus, because there's some who are still waiting for him to come back. And then the guys who've been grafted in, akina me, the guys who are never supposed to be part of this tree, but have been grafted in. Now that thing has completely affected my mind, because I'm like, I've now started asking questions like, for example, was Paul asking people to become Christians, or was Paul telling people to become Hebrews? So how then does this whole Christianity thing come up? Was Jesus at any point asking people to become Christians, or was he saying become into the family? And I'm now finding some things that are just completely blowing my mind. For example, I'm hearing Paul say, nah, bruh, to become these guys, you don't have to get circumcised. You don't have to cut your mugais. You just have to, it's a circumcision of the heart through Christ. And I'm like, these guys are...
I already don't have my stuff, man.
Or you are hearing a guy saying, if you are then in Christ, it therefore means you're Abraham's seed. It's very clear what these things are saying. So now I want to go into a deep dive of, and therefore it means if you are in this thing, where is your heart for Israel? And now when I'm talking about Israel, I'm not talking about the Netanyahus and things.
Of course.
There's
The real Israel.
There's the chosen people of God. Even though some of them are those bad guys, it's just that they're not flowing. Anyway, there's a whole rabbit hole I'm going to that I maybe don't want to speak about it because I'm currently in the rabbit hole.
So when Trump releases your P files, your 4 files, what does that do for you? Does that do anything to your faith, or does that
Nephilims, bro.
You think they're Nephilims?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Who do you think built the pyramids? Where do you think you get that kind of wisdom?
You think it was a Nephilim who built the pyramid? Giants?
I'm like, bro, for you to I went to Egypt. I've been to Egypt. Throw in photo right here. Last year.
Put a picture there.
Anyway.
I've also had the privilege. It's astounding.
Yeah.
It's
First of all,
astounding. The size of one rock. And then
did you notice how the guys cut off our nosy nose?
There was like, how can it be blackness?
Yes, they cut off that nose because they know it's us.
Yeah, they know. They know. So
those things, it takes a certain wisdom for you to build things. And now there hits a point where people's intellectual gets full. So now for you to have a certain next level of intellectual, even with money, you have to tap into spiritual. You either tap into the dark side and get the money, or you tap into the God side and get the money. So you do the Solomon way and get the money, or you do the other way and get the money. But there hits a point where your intellectual, in all things, hits a cap. I'll give an example. In the Bible, there's this guy who's going to war. And guys ask God, hey, God, but are we going to win this battle? And God tells them, my brothers, you guys are going to win that thing. So these guys are in war. Then the guys they are fighting against, that guy taps into spiritual. He kills his firstborn son, sheds blood, and they win the war. That's a guy who has understanding of spiritual things in terms of life. So life is not just your grind and your logic. In fact, a lot of limitation is people only using their mind. There has to be places where you're like, okay, I've hit a limit. In order for me to get to the next. And that's why some politicians are in witchcraft. I must say it, in this Kenya of ours, they have to enter those things.
Name and shame.
I don't know them. I'm not going to name, and then I can just find myself Pingu.
Do you think our leaders, without saying names, the guys at the highest level, do you think they tap in consciously to the dark arts, or it's by actions?
So one thing I'll say, me with my 4 or 5 employees, at max we ever got maybe was probably max maybe slightly under 19. That was me on that leadership level, almost drove me insane. What more of a guy who's leading 67 million people, 54 million people? You get? I understand that I will never understand that role and responsibilities. You get? Like, I can't even dare think that I understand. Me, I'm trying to lead my family. I'm trying to lead.
And it's a grind.
And it's a grind. Imagine trying to lead a county. Imagine trying to lead a municipality. Imagine trying to lead a country. Bro, that's another level that I don't have the wisdom to speak about, to be honest. You get, I can't just look and project and say, if you were what, my guy?
A random question about the Nephilim, and not to be crass.
Have you read the book of Enoch?
I've listened to it.
Oh, yeah?
Let me ask you, not to be crass, where were these guys pooping?
Just explain crass to your guys.
Not to be vulgar or nasty, but like, where were these guys pooping? See, they were coexisting. So if there's a guy who's 100 feet tall and he needs to take a dump, see, he's ruining the village. Like, simple things like that make me, like, where were they doing? Like, where were they?
Why are you acting like there was no land? In
But
fact, that
see,
time there was
there
not
were
as many human beings.
So weren't they amongst men, normal men?
Yes.
So that must have been a quote unquote shit show, literally.
Boulder!
Like, I've tried to wrap my head around that one.
That's the question that you have, where they're pooping. I love it.
Where were they pooping? Where are they?
But do you believe they came? What's your thought? Okay, so what does it mean to be an agnostic?
Agnostic is an acknowledgement that for me, I'll just use something, just this logic.
I've not dissed.
This
I've
shirt-
said logic is as a limitation.
You see, this shirt, for it to exist, it had to be made. By that simple logic, the majesticness of the world and the universe around us, there has to be an origin, a creator, a start. And that, for me, for sure, when I look at the splendor of the world, I'm like, there has to be a higher design. I know people always make fun about Kikuyus and facing Mount Kenya. For me, when I take off in the morning when we're doing LD at 6 a.m. flight and you look to the right and you see Mount Kenya, to me, there's no evidence of a creator. When I look in that direction, I see that thing. I'm like, I get what facing Mount Kenya means. Like, that is,
Yep.
There's something. So, but trying to understand what it is, I realize it'll be very difficult to get to that point, at least in my lifetime, because I don't think I'll ever know, but for sure there's a higher design. That's what I've reconciled. And agnosticism is an acknowledgement that you don't know. You're trying to know, but you don't know. You're trying to figure it out as you go.
But is there stuff you know? I agree. In fact, I love that. My philosophy in life is a pizza has 12 slices. Slice number 1 is what you know. Slice number 2 is what you don't know. Like me, I know I can't fly, but I know I can ride a bike. But the remaining 10 slices of pizza is what you don't know. And that's what I'm trying to explore into, but then also go with what I know. So for example, you, with all the brilliance and logic that you have, there's stuff you know. For example, I like that you said you have a creator, that you know there's a creator.
Absolutely.
So why not dig deeper into that?
But now, with what avenue? I've tried the Bible. I've tried understanding God through the Bible.
Yeah.
And
what limitations did you get?
I saw it was a time, I've shared this before. I did, me and my friend of mine were like, this year, let's do the Bible together. Every day we had an app and we'd go, the Bible in a year, it's called, the program.
Yeah.
Bro, the Old Testament doesn't make sense, man. There's so many things there that I just could not understand. Like it was chaotic. I always go back to the guy who, by mistake, spilled on the floor and got what was going on, man? What was all that?
That's humanity, bro.
No, but this is a superior being. Why was it so base level reasoning?
Yeah.
What was all that
Why
about?
do you think that was base level reasoning?
It was borderline like animalistic. Why are you getting vexed because a guy nut on the floor? Like,
I love your question.
yeah, like why is it bothering you that much? Why so much violence? These guys are beneath you. They're your creations. We're way beneath you. Why are you smiting people? What's this wrath? You're superior. Even as a parent, you know sometimes to temper yourself with your daughters, right? Because you're the older one. You're the one who's lived.
So you're upset with God on how God treated other guys?
According to the Bible narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, to me, creator is superior.
Yeah.
There's no he's petty. I don't think he's petty. If I have the wherewithal to catch myself when I'm being petty, I'm just a mere human being with all my limitations. The guy who created all of this is petty? No, I don't.
Okay, but if you get the petty side, then you should also get the love side. I hear you on the petty side, and by the way, I have zero explanation for you. But then I'm just going to say, what's the mirror version of that? The pettiness, you fathom the love of you killing your own son so that these guys can then get an essence or a sense of redemption. Why, if he's so mighty and big, why didn't he just say, okay, guys, I'll just snap my fingers and everything is? But the guy loves us so much that love for me completely outweighs, especially as a guy with 2 kids. By the way, you guys, there's nobody I'm giving my daughters for. You get what I mean? So that love is unfathomable, considering that guy comes here as God and he's letting guys do those things and in an instant.
But you, God, in the first place, why you knew your creation would fall, Satan, the guy you created.
Yeah.
Why?
I always ask the question, why did God tell Abraham that the devil was in the garden? Did he God tell the guy, by the way, there's a guy who I kicked out of here?
And also, like, you're creating. They say, let there be light. I am creating everything. Why am I creating the devil? And I say, I know he's going to mess up. I know he's going to want to my stuff.
Yeah.
What is this?
But now here's the beauty of the thing. Logic doesn't understand non-logical things. For example, you don't understand the essence of tomorrow. So he is creating all of this with the understanding of that he knows the end. And the guy is like, this end is the same way he said this is good. He knows that the end is so good that it was worth all of this.
So
as we're in the mix right now, as guys we are in.
So he's Steven Spielberg Pro Max. What do you call it? Martin Scorsese. Because
I mean, what that story a guy said, I had an accident.
And sorry guys, I know we've gone on a tangent, but it's a beautiful tangent.
Yeah, I had an accident. I mean, I was given a new car, but then when I took that new car, I went and I had an accident, and I went to hospital, and I broke my leg. Why did God give me that new car? But next to that hospital bed was a chick who also broke her leg, and I found the love of my life. So now we got married, and then we tried to get a kid. But so it's just bad, good.
And me, I'm scared because I fly. The guy I was flying with, and he's a Hindu, and his level of conviction about reincarnation. You know, he's looking at me like, oh yeah. This time when I was still a convicted Christian, so he's looking at me, oh yeah. I mean, I'm looking at him like reincarnation. Oh yeah. Muslims are looking at us like, we're like. Yani, we're coexisting together, all woying each other because, who and I end the hell? You know? And I'm like, this sounds human to me. This sounds human. This system sounds human to me. There's something else going on.
You know what? My life, I've decided my path. 2019 again. Actually, even before 2019, 2005. But I've decided my path and what it is that I'm going to believe in. And I'm just like, I believe in this thing so much. But if I believe in this thing at the level at which I believe in it, that I've put my whole life on the line for it, it means other guys are wrong. You get what I mean? For example, the Hindu, the Muslim, because of my belief, either I am faking to myself or I'm all in. And if I'm all in, it means other guys are wrong. You get
with extremely dire consequences.
Extremely. Like the last, in fact, this thing has become so real to me because I've started losing loved ones. I lost my dad, I lost my cousin, I lost 2 of my aunts. And always for me, the question becomes, did these guys make these decisions? And therefore, what is the consequence about this? Like that thing is so real.
That's a heavy cross to even try to imagine to carry.
It's so real. It's so real to me. So I'm just like, how God, I'm a veil. That's my only thing. I'm like, I'm not your super being, but I'm a veil for guys not to go down this path. If it means I buy a cup of some water, and you know, and I'm now not by the way, I need to sit you and tell you about the 4 spiritual laws. Nah, I'm not like that. I'm just like, I'm a veil.
And I really respect, ever since I've known you, I really commend your conviction because I've tried to get to that place and I've never been able to. My rationale pulls me back, and it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Like you said, could have dire consequences, eternal damnation being the worst. But I'm at a place of I don't know. I still get, and that's why I said the universe earlier, because I don't know what some of these signs come from, but some of them are clear. Like that was a message from some. That was not was not serendipity. That was not a fluke. There's a higher design, and I think we tap into. There's a collective consciousness that you can tap into. However, most of us are stuck in the rigors of life: food, shelter, clothing, and the pursuit for.
Yeah.
That guys don't have time to even imagine that there's a consciousness they can tap into. So what do? You go to the first thing that you know, which is the one that has always been there. I'll give an example of why is it so many churches in impoverished areas. Some of these guys don't have time to think. If you're thinking about food, shelter, clothing in a daily sense,
that's a big percentage of Kenya.
My closest spiritual thing will be the church, I know, and I'll be listening to the pastor. I once posted a clip of, I know he's your friend, Pastor Killer, talking about delay, and it just sounded too convenient to me. I'm like, I've had this clip before. Delay. Yeah. Delay just sounds like you've come to my church for a while, and maybe you've not materialized the way you'd want to by bearing the fruit of you being in this environment, this spiritual stewardship. So I tell you, experiencing delay. I'm seeing delay. About another 4 years of you, or 5 years. You know, it sounds... The system to me stopped making sense,
and that's why I'm like, you use what you have. So, for example, you've got your brain. You've got an extremely brilliant brain in how you're able to unpack things, and even in how you're able to question. Me, I'm like, go down that rabbit hole. So question. Like, God is not there being like question him. You get what I mean? He's not being there like, oh, Eric called me. I'm not talking to Eric. Eric called me. Like, what was up with me? Like, him is like, me, I like this guy because he's asking some real questions. You get what I mean? He's like, in fact, one of the questions I'm asking is Christianity a scam? Like me, I'm there now. Is Christianity a scam?
In the religious sense.
Yes. Was this thing ever supposed to exist? Or were we supposed to be grafted into Abraham's seed? And what does that therefore mean? What is Abraham's seed? Is this the kingdom of God? What does this look like? What is all? So I mean, I'm loving it, and I'm just like, it's me and God, and I'm asking those questions. You get? And I'm like, I need to see proof, because the Bible that I read about a guy turning loaf into bread, even a guy with a cohort right now is not being healed. When Rabbi hits the road and COVID comes, we're not seeing guys come. Miracle workers.
Guys all disappear to that.
So I'm like, why? Why is that? When a guy enters church with a cough, he's living with that cough. Like, why? Me, I'm at that point of like, is this thing then?
Can it take you over the edge?
Yeah. You can't. But try.
No, I'm saying, can it take you? Do you see, if you continue down this path, void of
no,
the
it's
answer.
making me even deeper. The thing about this, it's actually getting me into deeper levels of understanding God. So it's not doing it's not pushing me away. It's even drawing me more to God. So, for example, now I'm beginning to learn one of the power of when the Israelites told God, "We don't want you to be our king. Give us a king." And God told the prophet, someone is like, "These guys are asking for a king." Someone is like, God tells them, "Don't worry." God tells him, they've not rejected you, they've rejected me as king. And I'm like, hold on, there's a time God was king on this earth ruling over us. Nah, that's another nice rabbit hole. And I'm just like, wow. So does the kingdom mean that we have returned? Did Jesus come back to return us to the kingdom? And like there's just...
And your rabbit holes are thought, or do you also like go down like research?
I go down research, but I'm very careful about, because you can find anything about anything.
Yeah. Hashtag TikTok.
You can find everybody giving you a philosophy about everything. So I'm very limited on where I do my research on. It's the Bible and the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit is a very good person. And then once in a while, I to get out of my halo or my bubble, I know a couple of pastors who, for example, I know an intellectual pastor, Luanda Christian is very, I love the way he teaches from an intellectual perspective. I know one who maybe would teach from an apostolic perspective. I can now ask them questions. I'm like, this is what I'm going through. Am I about to enter a cult on my own? You get, what do you think? Give me your feedback. This is what I got. You get.
Me, I've even once thought we're in purgatory. I was like, this has to be purgatory.
But bro, you're so brilliant. You know, people. How many guys have no idea what purgatory is?
The ebbs and flows of life.
Yeah.
It's good. Low moments, like it always balances. So I'm like, this has to be. It can't be. It has to be.
Okay, let me let me tangent us out of here. But I liked that rabbit hole. So, what's the plan for every other time with Eric?
Scaling, man. I want to do a lot more content. I want to do live streams. I want to do remote streams. I want to continue with this podcast as is. I want to do more of on location kind of shoots. There's a guy in Zimbabwe. I want to go famous pilot. I want to travel there and interview him. This version is evolving even globally. Nowadays, guys want to see IRL. Like, I want to see what Astar is eating his cereal in the morning and kosoing his daughter, but on stream. You know, like, guys want to see full time. So I want to pivot into that. This remains the foundation. I always want to do interviews. I like this. I mean, I'm having a blast. But I also want to ramp up. I want to do a lot more content. Last year, I saw the fruits of my labor in a way that I could not imagine. I mean, I could not imagine. You know, those episodes I talked about, I had fun.
The random guys stopping you every time now.
Man, that one, more than I can even imagine. Like, the other day I was at Wilson, I started a new job. I'm taking pictures, you guys. Do you know how strange it is to be stopped for a picture? Trying to find the right smile. And maybe you're having a bad morning or a good morning. Like, it's a very strange phenomenon. For me, it's a byproduct.
You see those guys who see you and they know they've seen you. They think they know you, but then
me, I went to flight school because of you.
Wow.
I'm in flight school because of you, and I'm like, So it's a unique thing. But for me, I just like doing the art form, man. I'm not doing it to be famous.
I know what you mean.
just enjoy this. Yeah. And
that's why I hid behind the camera.
So I've entered a kind of environment where, you see, this, I've been doing it 20% of my time, maybe even 15.
Yeah.
Now it's 50-50.
Wow.
So I'm going to be doing 50 flying, 50 this. And I want to see what that can become.
So when I asked you what the goal is, what you've told me it's like I've asked you where you're going, and you're like, yo, I've got this bus that I've got, and I've got this Lamborghini, and then there's this also boat. So I'm like, what for you is, because I remember your win before. I don't know, maybe you want to see on camera or not, but is that still the goal?
You'd have to remind me.
To be Joe Rogan, the African version?
Of course, yeah, to be the biggest podcaster out of the region. That for me remains as one of my big goals in life. But I know the kind of experience and exposure that scaling this thing to the heights I can take it to will give me and my family. And ultimately, the freedom to not have to do it in a work kind of manner.
Okay, so is the goal money? I'm trying to figure the goal.
They're all there. Money is there. Success.
What does that success look like? Like
at the core, one of the big ones, of course, is financial freedom. Financial freedom to me is, I don't have to scratch my head about decisions. It doesn't mean that kila mtu private jet. No. It just means if I want to take a trip to Stato next week, I don't have to scratch my head too much. If I want to take my family on a trip, my friends on a trip, I can do it. If I want to help someone, I don't have to now say, we have this much and you need school. It's just seamless. So a level of wealth, nothing, not Elon Musk trillion.
Yeah.
Just financial freedom.
I know what you mean.
That one is up there. And just continue impacting people, because I've taken guys on such a wild ride till sometimes even guys are mad at me because I'm a CTA, God saved me, God, questioning God. So sometimes with my fans, but I'm growing with them. Even them,
I like it.
They're all seeing the different evolutions of what I'm going through, because may present in real time.
I get it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And some people struggle with that. They want, no. I want the city, Eric, the one who I want. And I'm like, in fact, there's some scenarios. There was a time I was found time back, I was in a liquor store. having a quarter of booze. This is post recovery.
Yeah.
I'm having a quarter. Then I'm talking to the guy at the counter. So I'm just sipping. Then some fan comes in, and it's like, "Yo, Eric." I'm like, "No, man. Yeah. No, Eric, you have it wrong. You're Kevin." I'm like, "No, I'm not Kevin. Those are my cousins." And he's like, "But he's like,
your bro."
yeah." He's like, because bro, it's a liquor store. Like, what?
Yeah.
You can't even pretend anything other than what is going on here is going on here. So after a while, I just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm Eric, man. How are you? And he's like, hey, supposed to tell me, Now one of the guys, yeah, man, I joined flight school because of you. I just finished my PPL, things like that. I gave him my encouragement. I just told him life is not linear. Just keep trudging on. Eventually, you'll be exactly where you want to be. So me, I'm living life.
So, but how was that? In fact, because me, that's a big one for me. What not from and understand, I'm not in any way coming from a judgmental perspective. I'm just trying to see. You know me, I have your CTA story in my head, so I'm trying to figure out what led to that. How did you end up doing that?
There was monotony. Number one, monotony of the structure of the life I was living. You know, when you're coming from turmoil, find structure. At first, it's like, whoa,
wonderful, yes.
Okay, then after a while, I'm like, you guys, this is too rigid for me, man. This is like Strathmore. I feel like I'm in Strathmore Uni. You guys are wearing a tie and shit. So I think at the core, I'm also a cheeky person.
Yeah.
And being cheeky is not a sin. It's not a crime.
Yeah.
So I just tested boundaries. I tested the boundary, explored the boundary.
Were you scared?
Initially, of course. You know, because the first thing that comes when you have a story like mine is the guilt and shame. So you catastrophize. Oh my God, I've let the whole world down.
Yeah.
But I was able to snap out of that.
That's brilliant.
Some of my friends, of course, also got me and told me, bro, you're going down now. You want to go down that path again? Like, yeah. Because when me now, I started putting pedals to the metal. But then I also realized.
Go hard, go home.
But I also realized, and this gonna sound so controversial, there's a level of, I'm not Eric of 5 years ago.
I know. I get what you mean.
Yeah, like I was able to snap out of it. No rehab. I mean, just like fuck, call yourself a meeting. You get, what are you doing? Stop. You've had fun. You know, you've had your fun. So now I'm trying to figure out, am I going to be doing this periodically? Like, am I going to be having a pressure release valve every so often after I achieve certain milestones in my life?
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure that out. Is that dangerous? What if I die in the process? You know, there are so many. I'm still trying to figure. I don't have the answers.
Yes. What did that do for wifey?
Scared her a bit, but right now as we speak today, she understands it more. You know, when it's happened, it's like, oh my God, the story I know about you is that once you start. Then of course my family also. You know, now when she's snitch number uno. Hey. So my
SOS.
Yeah, SOS. So
that's a good wife though.
So my family, I love her to death.
Yeah.
I had laid down my life for her. I kid you not. My family they're still dealing with me like I'm the Eric of 20 and I'm 23.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at them like, you guys, like, yes, I told you I sold my curtains in 2013.
Yeah.
So they're telling dancer like, now prepare. You know, she's gonna sell it. And I'm like, no, chill.
No, but that's
So also navigating that element of giving my family also grace to go through that version of the trauma they have of me from before.
Yes.
I've also tried drawing a line for like,
wow,
you don't have to be involved in this.
I'm my own man.
I'm my own man. You have your own lives. And then I always point. In fact, we had a meeting the other time. I posted a question to them. I'm like, you who knows your problems, and I know you have many, but I don't know them. Like I'm not meddling. I will only meddle if it becomes something. This has not become anything. You guys are meddling. Like
wow,
you're meddling.
But you also understand why they're meddling. Because for them, they know the pattern.
Of course.
So they're like, we know how this thing goes, and even for you, you know a pattern. So even you're shocked that you're not in the pattern.
Of course, yes. And no, my brother would say things like, "Yeah, I've dealt with you for 20 years." I'm like, but I'm not that guy anymore. Like, I'm not. And the best thing you can do for yourself, and this, not just addiction, just be independent as a human being. I think the main thing society expects of you, and for people to not tamper or tinker or interfere with your life, is to be independent. Independent does not mean wealth. It does not mean riches. It's just food, shelter, clothing. Take care of yourself. Take care of your needs. Don't sumbua, guys. Right? Me, I feel I've come to learn. I think that's all society expects of you. And then now that allows you to have a voice. That allows you to take your power back. Because I was always on the back foot, man. By the time I was sina ene, sina nyumba, sina nini, sina any, you don't have a ndururu or anything, yeah? And how people interface with people, they'll just toss you wherever they want to toss you, even if you don't need to be tossed there. And then you end up losing 3 months of your life. So
did this, and I'm not going to call it a relapse, but did this going back, did it for you get scary? Did it get dangerous? Did it go?
It did. At some point it did. But then very consciously so. I was being cheeky also. Like very consciously. By the time I was catching myself, I was like, you didn't have to reach here. Like, you didn't have to reach here. You could have stopped 3 weeks ago. You didn't have to get. But you're even you, to yourself, you're so used to the spiral. The water has to go down the drain, man. You can't just be in the sink going round and round and round and round.
Yes.
So even to yourself, it's like you're predetermining the end. So even me, I'm learning like, no, it doesn't have to get there.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't have to get there. Like, you're so used to that spiral and it has to get ratchet and loserish,
Yes.
It doesn't have to get there, bro.
And you understand that you have the ability this time to not let it get there.
Yes, absolutely. The stakes are so much higher. Wanting to stay sober is also attached to stakes, bro. Like, if you have nothing to lose, what are you? What is the? What's stopping you?
I get it.
Yeah.
Now you see it every day in your bed.
I have my beautiful wife. I have a job. I have a podcast. Now I'm trying to, even in this new dispensation, because I really lost my. I feel like in my former job, I lost track of my health, because of the way that the job is set up, overeating, not sleeping enough, just not taking care of myself the way I should.
Oh, I get what you mean.
So now in a better structure, I want to take that power back. I want to get back to being healthy. So it's been an interesting season, but most importantly, man, there is no manual. I'm learning as I go. Like, I'm doing it as I go. I've learned so many fundamental lessons, but it's not a line.
I get it. Even you when you see the problem with CT, it almost sounds like this is the
like
life.
A past.
Like it's the eulogy. It's like the whole of the biography of your life.
Yes.
It's not. It was just literally volume 1 of many volumes.
You put it best.
You get what I mean? So like when you're speaking it, I'm just like, yo, that is so brilliant. But then at the same time,
it's dangerous.
I'm seeing the love. The reaction from your parents is based on love and trauma. So it's such an intertwined thing of love and trauma, and at the same time, not again. You get what I mean? Wow.
And then also now, what about you? What are you up to? What can we expect from Astar?
Me, I'm back to So I'm in the transition phase for the next. If you ask me what the next is, I have no idea. None.
I'll start by saying, seeing after that long, you're way more settled. You're way more sure of yourself. There's a steadiness about you that was different from last time. Although you said, understandably so, because of the season you're in. A lot of growth also.
Yeah, last year I lost my dad.
Pole sana.
Yeah, and I'm a firstborn, so I'm even learning what it means to be a firstborn. And we saw it coming. So because unfortunately cancer is a nuisance. But not bad. So that happened. So that, and the firstborn of a firstborn. Number one, lose that. What does that mean? You get, how do you navigate life after this? You have siblings, you have your own family, you get.
Do you feel the void?
You met my dad.
Yeah, man.
So I every other day I go and work from his house. So it's like I started mourning, because what happened, he buried him that same night. I was on a plane to Egypt. I was surrounded by guys. There was so much love with Kanji and everybody. Came back, Europe, back, Europe, back, Europe, back,
So
Europe.
you threw yourself also into
So that was just like, wow. Like it's like every day I'm on a holiday. So now is when like the plane has landed, and now it's like, you get, now transition from work. So I'm first like, hey, I miss my dad. Especially now Formula 1 came back. I always watch Formula 1 with my dad. So I'm just like, wow.
Have you cried proper?
That feels weird. No. Number two, his assets. So like, I had not touched my dad's asset whatsoever.
Oh my God, that's a whole other thing.
Ever. I had like, it's because of my life story, I had done my own thing, you get. So now, it's weird, you get. It's weird that there's a car there, you get. And I'm just like, that's dad's car. Dad's not here. Dad's not here. That's dad's house. Dad's not here. You get. And then I'm firstborn. So there's siblings like, okay, dad's wishes, move on. I'm just like, wow. No one.
Nothing can prepare
You get.
for that.
I'm like, this is dad's car. Let this car just sit here for 50 years. Nobody drive it. Nobody touch it. Just let the car there. You get what I mean? So
Your brain doesn't even go there before the fact. Like you can't even.
Yeah. Some siblings or some not.
How many are you guys, if I remember?
We're 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So other families, would be like World War IV on those things. You get? For me, I'm just like, what is this?
Not
like,
to be too invasive, but did he leave a will?
No. He had a full conversation. Like, one of the things that I told him, I'm like, Dad, I think for some folks, wills are like saying, well, I'm going now. You get? So with him, I was just like, this is what we're going to do. I'm not going to go into drama. Grabbed my sisters. I'm like, I need you to say. I need you to speak. I need you to open up your mouth.
Did you bring out these guys?
The cameras.
Yeah. Because no guys can say, but
no, not with the way we are set up.
Okay.
Yeah, not with the way we are set up. So it was very, very clear with what he which was, I advise it to everybody. I even say pull out the cameras. In fact, I wanted to CTA him, and then in the process I pull out the camera. I'm like, I need you to say this thing. But then now what he did, he brought at least the siblings. He even told my wife, hey, even you come in here. So then he said, this, do this, and I was like, okay. Saying is one thing, action is another. You get? Because it's the action for me, it's like, now no more dad. It's like a reality check to that. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, wow. So there's that I'm navigating, which is, so I'm experiencing new emotions.
So you're going through grief as well.
I'm going to call it, I'm going through a manning up. I'm manning up.
A different
because for me, I was like, I've got my own life. You get what I mean? I've got my own life, I've got my own kids, I'm easy.
Is that a mistake? The reason I ask you in that manner is because I'm on that path. Because of that heavy dependency.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, but I'm a firstborn. And I'm a firstborn son. So you can't take away some certain responsibilities. You get? Especially if you are off of so my biggest thing is I want my dad's wishes acknowledged. Whether you're a farmer, there's no drama. Everybody's just like, hey, you do it. But
what does that mean? What do you mean by acknowledged?
I mean done.
Okay.
What he said.
Okay.
Like for me to honor him, I need it done. But now that what happens is that you don't know now how that affects you. It's not about doing the thing. It's just like, it's like you doing this is saying dad is no more.
It's a confirmation.
It's a confirmation. You want things to stay status quo, but you can't, because he told you what to do, and other siblings are waiting for you to do this thing. So it's a new emotion. You get? So now you have to man up.
Then are you still having to be like big bro even on the grief side of things for your siblings?
No. Everyone is in everyone is in their own version of mourning.
Your last one is how old?
Nikki is 22.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
She's young.
He's
he's young.
And then he's in a different country. My sister, different country. My other sister left Nairobi. You get? So like it's nothing nobody can prepare you for as much as they can prepare you for. I hear about wills and all of these things, but it's not the action thing that's the problem. It's the emotional thing. You get? So I have to, but here's the best thing that I like. Remember that year I spent shooting CTAs at my dad's house? Mm-hmm. That was one of the best things I've ever done.
He was so proud.
He was so, like, he got to see, and then I have nothing. I had no, there's no bile, there was no nada. My dad even watched the CTA when I was here. In fact, he said, when you go to that CTA, say I didn't come for your wedding. And for him to say that, I was like, like that. Yeah, he's like, that was his way of saying, I'm sorry.
Now, I'm asking you and I've already asked, but I just want confirmation. You, as an older man, you see, I'm explaining that. You see, you know my story.
Yeah.
A lot of dependence when you shouldn't be dependent. You get mine. Like, I was dependent as an old person, because parents having to pay rehab, at some point rent. You're a man, but and I've fought so hard to be independent, and I valued. For me, my independence is such a pillar of my existence that I've kind of created some distance, I'd say, between me and my family. Is that something I'll regret?
Yes, complete.
Okay.
At all means, seek reconciliation. God didn't put you in the family by mistake. So I understand the thing of get dependent. Get dependent, be your own man, have your own family. If it means you live in a one-bedroom bed-sitter, do what you can do. You get? Where there is no hold that they have on you in an essence of control. Don't let the manipulation from that side or control on that side prevent you from being your own man. You get? So for me, they were deciding my career path. You get? And my career choice without allowing me to do it. You get? So that's what caused the rift between me and my famo. I want to do music. You guys want me to enter this thing? Hey, they were like, okay, be a man. Be a man.
Be a man.
Be a man. Emotional damage. So now I went my own way. And best thing in my life is I went my own way. Ground up, got to understand a lot about myself, got to understand a lot about this country, got to understand a lot about how blessed I am. But then there's always a hole. So reconciliation, that affirmation, there's an affirmation in your life that I promise you can only get from your dad. And sometimes he doesn't give it, even though he's physically there. So another thing, in times, there's only family who will be there for you.
That's true.
There are some situations hey, bruh, you would know. There's some situations in, like, even when they meddle, like now when they're interfering and all of those things, you have to understand the basis of that interfering is love. The basis of that. By the time your bro tell you 20 years, bro, when you remove all the noise and the pain and the verbal things that he's saying and the dissing, oh, there it is, it's love. This guy just loves me. But yeah, I don't know how to tell me he loves me. This action is out of love. So famo is everything. And for me to say that, brah, wow.
Because you've also had your seasons of complete...
for a long time. So the best thing in life, fam, if you can, begin it now.
I'm going to meet him at 2.
Oh, today? Hey, in the next 15 minutes.
I'm supposed to be there in 15 minutes.
I just want to get bros on the pad. Okay, you can go. But what I'll say is, and then don't have anything. So when you ask, have I had a good cry? Imagine I don't need to. It's not a TRT, I haven't grieved or anything. It's just that I spoke. I said, in fact, if anything, I have a joy that by the time this girl was going, there's nothing we hadn't spoken, there's nothing we hadn't talked, there's nothing we hadn't said, there's nothing, he blessed us, even blessed my kids, he blessed me, he blessed my wife. Like, it was,
you got
page closed.
You got closure.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
As we land this Airbus.
Yeah.
What can we expect for you this year? In the next coming year? What can we be excited about from a CTA standpoint, career?
So CTA is evolving as well. So I'm the same thing as you. I'm going to keep the one-on-one conversations, but then I want global stories. And I'm really hunting for amazing global stories. You get, the other day I was with the founder of Bolt. It was just doing like a talk. In fact, I filmed it and put it on CTA. I want to, I've been global too much for me to concentrate on 54 million people only.
Plus your CV.
I can't even like.
Safaricom CEO is a CV.
No, everyone is my CV. You are my CV. By the way, let me tell you, stories are stories. Like Safaricom CEO story is not more important than yours. You get, and I don't know how to explain to you guys. You get, for me, I'm just like, here's a story. In fact, everyone has a story. I'm even contemplating just going to pick up anybody and do their story because everybody's story actually has such growth. I don't want to guys to look at CTA as a platform where the super CEO has to come. No, I'm like, anyone has a story.
But by the time you're getting it on mask on CTA, you'll be using that as, these are some of the guys I've interviewed. This is
I've seen it in Europe. I've seen
this
is the second look when they do their due diligence and they see who I've interviewed. They're like, okay, if this guy can give you it's like the MD of Sarova. He was like, who interviews anybody because his marketing manager told him a whole day. No, I'm not doing that. Then he went on, he said, hey, Patricia Ithai is my friend. She's there. Hey, Jinedine is my pal, is there. Hey, Peter Ndego. Okay, so I'll find him. And then he comes with the right posture. One of the titles. So I'm trying to do more of that. Not just so now I'm trying to do that's why I created CTA brand stories. There's some people who never want to talk about their life. They don't want to talk about their personal life.
Yes.
But we can still, there's still the CTA way of telling the story of the brand. Perfect example was Sarova. That's not Jimmy's story. Jimmy's story is there, but it's the core of it is Sarova. You get, so I want to do more of that, but then also experience. Because everybody now wants to podcast. Everybody now wants to tell the story. I'm just like, no problem, you're telling. You want to come here to tell your story. I get at least 7 requests a day.
If I was to come and tell their story, I've experienced that a lot as well.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't just want to tell the story. I also want to do due diligence on the back end side, so that this water we're talking about, I've seen how this water was made. By the time it's coming here, I've tested it. I've seen the purifications, and it also works better for the brand. It works so much better for that. Yeah, but I don't want to stop. But lastly, I have no idea. I'm in that stage of God.
It's a cipher.
I'm like, God, bro, don't just leave me here, man. or is it time for me to come? I'm just like, God, man, like, what's next? That's where I'm at.
I'm so happy you agreed to come because this has been, I think we've gone everywhere, man. We've talked about life, God, the past. I think it's the history we have with the episode I did on CTA and then you coming, and I think it was a bit also long overdue. Yeah. No beef here, man. There's never been beef. Thank you so much for making time, bro. I really appreciate it. I've really enjoyed this episode, man. If you've been watching to this point and you haven't subscribed, really.
Come on, man.
Really?
What you doing?
We're trying to get a 50K.
Hey, 50K.
Yeah, man. Imagine. That's been Every Other Time with Eric, Astar legend. Guys, if you don't know Astar, then you're living under a rock. Thank you so much, bro.
I'll say last thing. I love your mind. Like your podcast, very few people have the way to unpack. Number 2, I love the grind. I know I'm here talking about work and trying to make it sound like whatever, but you're probably the most consistent, you and maybe the mic check one, but the most consistent podcast that is of value. And number 3,
that's deep.
Can I pray for you?
Sure.
Yeah. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this amazing time that we've had on EOTW. Which was, what do I do? Eotwe. Yeah, what way? Yeah. This was good, man. This was good. It's nice, a nice, good 360 catch up. This is your son with a lot of questions. So my ask is that you continue to speak to him in the way that he would hear you. And also for this podcast, bless it. See you in another 2 years.
Amen.
Every Time with Eric,
Astar. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap.